Welcome to the Weekly Social, folks. Everything Katy, Fulshear, Richmond, Texas. Today we have Jada and Venessa with Houston Apparel Company. Thank you so much for coming out today, ladies.
Thanks for having us.
We are excited.
Yay. Well, tell us a little bit about yourselves and your company, please.
Okay, sure. Well, we're actually neighbors, funny part.
Yeah.
We started
Okay.
off doing the same thing and coming together. We were actually competitors before we started our business together.
Friendly competition,
Yes,
hopefully.
Yeah, it was, definitely.
So, we both live in Fulshear, and we have been in business for about a year.
Mhm.
And our business does branded promotional items, custom apparel. Vanessa works with small to medium businesses, tech, and startups. And then
Okay.
I work with our corporate division, specifically companies in oil and gas, energy, and construction. And we do flame resistant clothing and high visibility safety gear, everything from hard hat to steel toe boot.
Yeah, we can put your brand on anything.
Oh, that's awesome. What got you into doing this? Was there like a path or?
Sure. So, as Jada mentioned, we were competitors before. We each had our own women's clothing boutiques where we did more women's fashion. And then Jada started going into more of the schools and doing t-shirts. And then I had also, not knowing Jada was doing that, thought about doing the same thing as well. And then I had met people who said, "Oh, do you do this? Do you do that?" And I thought, well, I probably can, like pencils, pens, business cards. And then
Swag, I
exactly,
guess, with
it
the-
was
the
it
swag.
was
Yeah.
swag, yeah. And so I was like, yeah, I guess I could. So I started kind of doing a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And then I met Jada, and we had talked about doing just kind of fitness apparel for a group that we both belonged to. And then we both kind of looked at each other and thought, well, we can take this even further. We both had this idea of moving into promotionals and swag, and then she had experience with oil and gas and construction, so we added that in there as well and thought we could take this pretty big. So
I would think the high vis, the flame retardant stuff, I would think that would be a pretty big market.
it is, yeah. And we attend a lot of oil and gas events to kind of meet people and see what the need is. And what we've found is women are very underserved. And I can let Jada talk a little bit about that. What we've found out.
Sure.
Sure. So I think there was some legislature passed in December, I think, of last year. And it finally called to attention that women need properly fitting PPE, not only for
What's
form and
PPE?
protective, personal
Personal
protective
protective
equipment. So that's any
okay.
of those
That's
things
not
that we
only
talked
for me,
about.
it's for them
Yeah,
too.
no, yes, personal protective equipment.
Yes.
Everything from safety glasses to steel toe boots and everything in between. And so there's been this big push because it's unsafe for women to be in men's fitted clothing and it be oversized. And, fabric can get caught in machines, and there's all sorts of industrial hazards along with that. And before that, we had learned, just talking to people in the industry, that it was a definite need. So we do have a focus on fitting women for PPE. We even have a line that for maternity. So if you're pregnant, there's a safety line for you.
Oh, wow.
Yes, there's boots that are actually fitted to a woman's foot instead of being a smaller size of a man's. And there's so many different things that are out there. So our personal mission is to educate and inform people that not only is this what you should do, but it's also part of the safety world regulations and compliance.
Yeah.
When you said the smaller shoes, I mean, that's a common problem across a lot of different things. Men's and women's sizes on the same shoe with multiple brands.
It's different, yeah. We visited a couple of boot vendors, and they said other companies tend to just shrink it and pink it. So they just take a men's
women.
side, a men's shoe, turn it pink, and make it smaller, so it doesn't really fit a woman's foot. It's men's feet, I think, tend to be a little wider. They're just bigger, and so if you have a shoe that's more geared towards a woman's foot, it'll fit better.
Sure.
Yeah. Especially being steel-toed and heavy, and walking around in them all day long. So,
In a previous life of mine, I used to race motorcycles.
Oh.
So the way I look at safety gear, it's typically one size smaller than you buy off the rack to wear's clothing. Because the safety gear I was wearing, you didn't want it to move.
Right.
So if I would go down or crash, you didn't want all that stuff that's supposed to protect you to move out of the way, and then it's not protecting you.
Right.
So I guess, can you guys give me a little guidance or insights of your PPE?
sure.
Am I saying that correctly?
No, yes.
Okay.
It's called so many things. But yeah, so the guidelines are that it needs to be form fitting. One, like I kind of explained about fitting in, and then there's different arc. They're called arc ratings. So if you're working around electrical equipment, you have to have a certain arc rating on what you're wearing to be able to protect you
So
in
it
case of a
repels the spark if it comes at you, or
right. Well,
Okay.
basically, what flame resistant gear does is it protects you long enough to get out of the suit.
Yeah, it slows down.
It slows down the burn is basically
see.
what it does. It doesn't necessarily protect you, but it gives you time to get out of the garment in case of accident. So, which is kind of creepy, weird to think about, but there's different ratings for different type of applications in every industry.
Well, and a lot of people don't realize, like, electrical fires, that's real.
Oh,
I mean, it's
yes.
electricity that starts a, it's a high intensity fire.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we have branded lines of those kinds of equipment, so that way, and like she said, we specialize in women. So if any company's looking to outfit their employees, or anybody who's going to be on the work sites, that's who they would call us in, and we could come in and do sizing, fittings, and then get all of the equipment they need.
Okay, so is it like made to measure type clothing to where you're
Like
sending it out
custom?
and having it completely custom made to that individual?
It's size, but how these are designed is to make sure that they're not loose or baggy. There's different companies that do put out different products to fit every body shape and style.
Okay.
It's just kind of understanding what the need is, and then being able to make sure, one, that they're completely protected, right? That they
Sure.
have the highest piece of garment for flashpoint that they're
So what they're wearing is
required
supposed to work.
Right.
Or not, I shouldn't say supposed to, will work.
Right. And I think we've learned so much, just immersing ourselves in the industry that, you'd be surprised at the stuff people don't put on, and like, why wouldn't you have your heart out on, and people don't do
Sure.
it. So that's a real big, problem for companies as far as, injuries on the job and
Safety glasses.
Yeah. Safety glasses is another one.
Huge. I used to run dealerships at one time, and that was always a challenge in the shop area, that when they were in the shop, they had to have safety glasses on.
Ear protection. That's another big one that people don't. They
That's a
won't put it
problem I
on.
have today because I didn't have ear protection, as we were talking
Years
off
ago.
camera earlier.
Motorcycle,
Yes.
on the motorcycle.
Well, I'm actually a drummer, so
Oh, very nice.
see, there was no hearing protection when I was a kid.
Yeah.
If it was too loud, you were too old.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly
Right.
right.
We were talking about that this morning.
Actually, we were. That's funny.
So, but today I wear hearing protection when I play the drums. But when I was a kid growing up, there was no such thing. I'm in my 50s, so there may have, but I just wasn't privy to it.
Yeah, I don't think there was.
Yeah, my brother is a drummer, and
Yeah.
we through high school, my parents had a drum set at the house, and they had him in headphones, and
Yeah. Okay.
but I'm sure he is a little hard of hearing too.
So, are you guys originally from Fulshear, Katy, Houston area?
Sure. Long story short, I was born in Lafayette. My dad is in oil and gas, and we moved to Texas.
Almost native.
Yeah, we moved to Texas when I was 5, 6.
Okay.
And we've been in Katy ever since. And I graduated from Katy High School and moved away for a little bit, came back, got married, and we settled in Fulshear.
Okay. Awesome.
Yes.
How about yourself?
I have been here 6 years, and we came from Florida.
Okay. Well, welcome. Florida's a wonderful community. I've spent a lot of time over there. I think Destin, in my opinion, is probably one of the prettiest beaches in the world, and I've been all across the planet.
Yes, absolutely,
It's
hands
beautiful.
down. I like the sleepier side of Destin, like the 30A, the seaside. Like that's kind of when we lived there. We got married on one of those little
Oh, did you?
communities called
Okay.
Mexico Beach. So yeah, I love like the smaller, non-commercialized beaches along
You
the
kind of
coast.
get away from everybody,
Yes,
and you get
yes.
the Emerald Isle with the sugar white sand.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
it's beautiful.
So, what are you guys seeing in your line of work? Any changes or anything coming up? I mean, as far as like clothing technology design, I mean, that's an ever shape-shifting thing in my opinion. So that's what I'm asking.
Sustainability tends to come up quite a bit when people
sustainability. Okay.
when people want to purchase items from us, they ask about the sustainability or what the material is made out of, and not everything is made with sustainable material. But when I sell promotionals and swags to people, I try to coach them that you want to buy stuff that people are going to use and that is of quality, regardless of the material. Sure, try to go sustainable when you can, but if you can't, make sure you get something that's going to have a longer shelf life rather than giving away a cheapy giveaway that's going to end up in the trash and in the landfill right away.
Right.
So that's a way to prevent your promotionals to become a problem. So to remain sustainable is to buy something that is going to have a longer shelf life, going to get used by your customers.
You get the T-shirt, you wash it, you dry it one time,
and it
twists, it comes, and then it comes up to here.
So when people tell us they want to buy that one, we're kind of like, are you sure? Because it's just going to end up in the trash. And you don't want to put your brand on something cheap that's going to get thrown away or be used as a shop rag or a garage towel, because what does that do for your brand? So you want a shirt that people are going to remember and come back to you, which we get all the time. I love that T-shirt. It's my favorite T-shirt. I wear it all the time. And so those are the ones that we give out. Sure, we're giving out an item that's a little bit more expensive, but it's something that everybody wears. And so our brand is a walking billboard right now on people on those really comfortable T-shirts. So definitely when you're buying a T-shirt to give away to promote your brand, don't skimp on the quality, because it'll get thrown away. And then it defeats the purpose of trying to be sustainable because everything ends up in the trash.
Sure. And then do you guys silk screen this stuff? And I'm just asking to...
We can.
Okay.
We have different technologies that we use, and we don't do anything ourselves. It all goes out and gets done. So if you want it screen printed, embroidered, we promote a newer technology called DTF.
What is DTF?
It's direct to film. I'm going to let Jada explain a little bit more.
So it's the newest technology that's out there on the market. Screen printing has its place and it will always be around, right? But DTF provides more vibrant colors and it won't crack like screen print can after time. So it's more durable. So we go with that as our preferred decoration method because we want it to last as long as possible. We want to sell.
It stays vibrant longer.
Yes.
The colors stay vibrant longer.
Okay.
And it just looks better. It has a better feel too as well.
Is there a cost difference between the two? I would think so, but
There
better is
is.
usually more.
Right, but it's minimal, and that's why we have to have this conversation with our clients, like, this is why we do this is why you would do this over there. And sure, we do get people who have used screen in the past, and that's what they want, and we'll do it.
Sure.
But whenever we have the opportunity to educate them on this is what the newest trend or way to decorate is, and it's our tried and true method.
But if you can also cycle something out longer, you're saving money in the long run. Because, I mean, most clothes, I don't know what the exact washes are, but
They do.
You get X amount of washes, and then at that, the fabric's pretty much all wore out, it's gone.
Right.
And that goes back to your brand being on something that looks nice longer. You don't want somebody wearing your brand completely faded out, crackling and
Looks like Swiss cheese.
right, exactly.
That is a good description.
So, if you want your brand to last longer, you go with a little bit better quality.
Okay. So, what other type swag stuff do you? I think you said pens and some other stuff, but I'm sure there's all kinds of cool
Tell
gadgets
them about the fun
that
tech
nobody
stuff.
thinks of.
Yeah, so we attend a lot of expos and trade shows to see kind of what is out there, what's the newest trend, and what people are really going after. We've seen brands on reading glasses. You can put your reader
like
prescription.
cheaters.
Yeah,
Okay.
cheaters.
Yes,
Okay,
cheaters, I like that.
I'm in that age group. I have bifocals.
They come in like 120, 1.25, 1.5, and everybody has a number that fits them comfortably. So you can do a bunch of those, put your brand on that. I mean, those got eaten up like hotcakes.
Really?
Yeah. And then socks, really
I
fun.
love the way, like that's branded inside there.
Oh, no, it was on the outside. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
But that attracted me to these glasses.
Oh, yes.
Ah.
See?
I'm weird.
Brand recognition.
For
Right
sure.
on the inside.
Yeah, I love it. And you can kind of tell a hint of it when you turn. So,
Yeah.
Yep, you can see it.
socks is a big one. A lot of men wear dress socks like you have on right now. And so if you put your brand on somebody's socks, they're wearing it. If it's a comfortable sock and
Sure.
they're going to wear it. We've actually seen umbrellas made out of recycled water bottles.
Really?
So
Those
lots
inside
of really
out
cool.
umbrellas are really
The
popular.
inside
right?
out ones, yeah.
Really popular right
What
now.
is an inside out umbrella?
You open it, you feel like you're opening it in reverse, like you're going to turn it inside out, but it's opening. I really can't explain it.
Yeah, so it kind of twists out differently, and it's sleeker. It's not as bulky. It's like the size of a golf umbrella, but it's
Yes.
really, it looks a lot.
And I think
More
they don't
sleek.
get blown in the wind.
Yes,
they
they
don't
won't
inside out in
pop
the wind.
inside
Oh
out.
wow.
So they're a
That's
little
huge.
yes, yeah, especially if you're out on the golf course.
Yes.
So lots of really great ideas. Playing cards is always a good staple to have.
Do people do that anymore?
They
Yeah,
do.
they do.
The tech gadgets are my favorite. Like
Yes.
the solar USB.
Yes, we have a
with your brand on there.
Yep,
Okay.
Phone
it's
chargers.
a charging bank. And Jada and I, being out all days at these events, have started to realize those are necessary for when we're out. When you run out of juice
When
on
I
your
travel,
phone,
yes.
Yes.
because we're
It's a
working
must.
constantly on our phones, and then by the time we know it, it's noon and we're at 30%, and it's like, what just happened? So, we have between the both of us like 3 phone banks that we keep, charging banks. But the Halo or the solar powered one is really good option because you don't have to charge it. You just leave it out, and the sun charges it, and then you can charge your phone through
Can
it.
you set it on the dash of your vehicle?
Oh
Yep.
yes, here in Texas, that's exactly.
You
what
might be
do.
careful. You could cook it.
I was
That's
gonna say
true.
magnifying glass.
Yeah, just for a little bit while you're driving.
Yeah.
But
Yep.
yeah, that's a must in tech gadgets. So
Okay.
lots of great options. I
What
think
about like sun visors and stuff for vehicles?
Yeah. we've talked about getting some for ours with
Have you?
our
Okay.
yeah.
Because every time you
Park
in the
your car.
summer, just they're gonna pop that out, and
So
there's your
anything
brand.
that somebody's going to use every day
Practical.
or very practically use that they're going to save is things that I recommend people get. I'm over the squishy balls. I'm over.
That was going to be my next question. So what do you advise people not to spend money on?
I think squishy balls would be my number one.
Yes.
Like no,
Yeah.
because I mean, really, do you squish a ball all day? I mean, maybe one.
When I donate blood.
Wow.
Well, I wouldn't say
So
all
maybe,
day.
Yes.
maybe the blood bank would need one.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good one for them. But yeah.
Outside of that, no.
No, I mean, I don't even clutter my desk with them, right? If I
No.
get one, I give it to the kids. It ends up being half eaten by the dog and in the trash. So, please,
Anything else out there that is 1099?
apparently I'm like having a hard time with the squishy balls.
Yeah.
Sorry, I didn't realize how much I had built up
She
about
has
the
animosity
squishy
for these squishy balls.
Maybe you need a squishy ball.
Maybe I do, but you know what? They make fidget pins, which are really cool. So
Oh,
it's a
yes.
pin, and it has a little fidget gadget at the end. So you've got your pin, and instead of clicking your pin, you're just fidgeting your gadget.
The
So-
ultimate annoyance.
Yeah.
Pen clicking.
But a cool pen is actually not bad. I like
Yes.
cool pens. Yeah.
Notebooks have never gone out of style. Really nice
No.
ones. You know, people still carry those, and
I
in the
get
digital age,
so many Post-its.
Post-its.
Everybody.
Everybody does Post-its.
Everybody
They're
does
not expensive.
Post-its.
That's why. But a few here and there is not a bad idea
Sure.
because I do have a good Post-it note on my desk.
Oh, what was one of the
What about stuff
interesting
like that?
things?
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, yeah.
What about like the rubber band? I see those at a lot of events.
So a lot of causes use those. They bring
Yes.
attention to a cause, and I
Okay.
think that's really good to have.
It's more of a niche for that.
And I think those are actually great for like one-off events. So if you're promoting a gala or promoting some sort of a party, they're cost-effective enough where you could use them leading up to the event, and then be done with it after the
Okay.
event. So I think they're still good. So I think those
Limited
are,
shelf life.
yeah, I would say. But some kids wear them all the time. My son actually really
Yeah.
likes wearing them, and yeah, I'm
Their
like,
arm.
okay, but they like it. So maybe
Sure.
that's the kid thing to give away for kids.
So do you guys have a storefront? Is your office virtual?
We're virtual.
Most places are. My company's virtual as well.
Okay. Yeah, we're 100% virtual, but we get together and work together to kind of make sure we're getting our job done sometime. At least once a week we work together, but everything is online. So you can check out our website and see everything we have.
We
What's-
do utilize like a co-working space for client meetings if we need
Okay.
to, but for the most part,
I would think most of your stuff's either done online via Zoom or in person.
Exactly.
Going to meet the client wherever.
Yeah.
I mean, that's mine. I mean, typically if a buyer wants to meet me, it's for a property they want to buy or sell it for a property to
Right.
list. So I'm typically in the field meeting whoever
Same.
as well.
So we'll go out to an event and piggyback maybe a work day at a co-working space for half of the day, and then event the other half of the day, and then
Sure.
we're done.
So marketing, is that typically what you focus on? Is events to like market type booth events? Or?
We do Vanessa. This is Vanessa's area of specialty.
Yeah, we go to events. We go to a lot of business development events, happy hours, and stuff like that, just to meet people.
Sure.
But we focus our marketing online through digital marketing. So we're very active on LinkedIn, on social media, and
That is
so
a great resource.
It is.
A lot of people don't understand LinkedIn.
No, we have learned a lot about it since we've started our business together. It's a really great tool that could generate a lot of organic leads if you use it properly. You
Right.
don't have to pay for digital marketing, so
No, there's opportunities everywhere.
Yeah.
You just have to A, know how to market to them, and B,
Right.
seize the opportunity when it arises.
right. So when we meet new people, we connect on LinkedIn, and we just tell our story on LinkedIn, and that's how we really get a lot of business through customers, existing customers, word of mouth, and then people finding us on LinkedIn, and of course Google searches and stuff like that. But
You know, I'm a mom and pop shop, which it sounds like you ladies are too.
We are.
But business is built upon relationships. It is.
absolutely.
So, and that's how you get the repeat referral business. You build a foundation, and you can weather storms and peaks and valleys from that versus just being click and order. Nobody knows who you are.
Right.
That person's racing to the bottom, always looking for the lowest price.
Sure, you could get sometimes a better price through a big box company online, but do you know who you're working with? Do you know what quality you're going to get? If you have an
Customer
emergency,
service,
do you
problem.
know who you can call to say, I really need this in the next few days. Can you help me? Like that kind of stuff. And Jada and I can go and babysit your stuff sometimes, check on it, give you an update. And so, sure, you could go buy the cheapest, but we're a really great value. So we tend to really just...
You know, my experience in business, there's a segment of people out there that is them, that they want the cheapest in everything
Yeah.
that they do.
Yep.
But the vast majority, 85+% of the people, they want the best value and the best service. So that's my primary focus with people out there.
We do as much, we'll do as much as you want us to. Like, we promote ourselves as white glove service from end to end. But if you want to be more involved, less involved, we'll work with you on that.
Yeah.
So it's customized to each client.
It really is.
Personal needs.
Some of our clients are very hands-on, and they know exactly what they want. They send us their own mock-ups, and they're ready to go. And
Here's my logo. I need it on this shirt. I need 5 of them.
I've already
by
mocked it
this
up for
date.
you. Yeah, and so great. Okay, I'll take care of it. But some are like, I'm going to an event, and I have no idea what I need. I have no idea how many I need. What do you recommend? And so we have different presentations already put together for a golf tournament or a clay shoot or a gala. We know exactly what people need for those events. And sure, there could be a couple of things that maybe are new that you, out of the box, we come up with together. But for the most part, we're ready to go for any event. We know what you need.
Clay shoots are huge
Yes.
in our local market.
Yes.
We just did one
Last week.
Yes.
A week ago today, yeah.
Yeah.
We actually set up and sponsored at the IADC clay shoot out at the Westside Sporting Grounds. So that's the International Association of Drilling Contractors.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is an organization that we're a part of.
And we saw some great swag out there. Ear plugs, because we talked about ear
Sure.
safety,
Yes.
safety glasses, towels, little cleaning towels for their guns. So, yeah, great stuff to have at a clay shoot if you're going to be attending or if you're going to be marketing your business at a clay shoot. You putting your brand on those things is great. Again, they're going to reuse it. They're
Right.
going to use it at their next event. And then they're going to remember your brand.
My favorite is the customized shell bags to put on your
Those are
belt.
really nice,
We can
yeah.
get some
Oh,
really
yeah.
nice ones of
Yeah.
those.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I would have never thought customized shell bags.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like I said, we can pretty much put your brand on anything. And we can even put the pop-up tent and the chairs and the tablecloth, so you're all set. Your booth will be all
so it's
set.
a full marketing package.
Yeah,
that you
we
guys
could do
offer.
that for you.
That's
For
awesome.
sure, yeah.
And Vanessa's done some really cool trade show booths with clients in the maritime industry where they've had the lit backdrops and all the things. She's great at designing those.
Well, in today's marketing, I mean, you have to stand out.
Absolutely.
It's so easy to get lost in the noise today. I mean, I look at a potato chip aisle and you just look at it and go, it all looks the same for the most part. How do you stand out in the crowd in coming up with unique stuff? Stuff that's memorable.
Right. When early in my career, I would go and promote a company through trade show events, and all we had was a tablecloth and some plastic cups and squishy balls and notepads and pens, and that was it, right?
Is that where the squishy ball
yeah,
came
it's
from?
probably the trauma of the
Trauma.
squishy ball. I've never been attacked by a squishy ball, so that's good. But yeah, so that it's evolved. We went to what was that big one we went to? I forgot the name. Nape, huge, and it was Gas Tech. Gas Tech was huge. The amount of space that these booths took up with full furniture, rooms, I mean, it is evolved.
Yeah.
Swanky couches like this and all sorts of
So all of that
trellises.
and then the stuff they're giving away was like full stuffed animals and complete notebooks and charging stations for your phones. Like those are the types of swag that some of these big oil and gas companies are giving away. So yeah, it was really neat to see.
I used to run dealerships back in my racing days, and we would go to like huge international boat shows and stuff like that. And not only would we have all the product on display, but we would actually have closing booths there as well.
That's what they had, closing booths to close deals. Yep.
I mean, it was kind of like a portable office in a showroom, but yet somewhere else.
And they had all the swag, and they had the snacks and the coffee and all the things.
Yeah.
Branded coffee cups, plastic or paper coffee cups and all that.
Bottles of water with the labels on it.
Yeah. So that's kind of where we are. We help you think outside the box to where you go and you're putting on a show, you want to look really classy and have kind of your brand subtly put everywhere. We can do all that for you.
Awesome. If somebody wants to reach out for a consultation or to order stuff with you guys, what's the best way for them to connect with you?
Sure. We're both on LinkedIn, but you could email info@HoustonApparelCo.com, and that'll put an email directly to both of us. And just let us know that you saw us on the show and that you have an inquiry, and we'll reach out right away.
And also, if you go to our website, which is just www.HoustonApparelCo.com, there's a pop-up box that has Start a Project. So you put all your information, and we'll reach back out to you that way.
Either way, yeah.
Do we have them tagged, Jake? We do? Yeah. Okay. Does any questions come across, or do you have any questions before we wrap up?
We're good.
Okay. Jake is the hardest working man in Katy, Texas.
Oh, yes.
He's the one that keeps us looking good every Friday, so thank you very much, Jake.
Good job, Jake.
Thanks, Jake.
But no, I want to thank you ladies for coming out. Great information. If you would, please reach out to them. Support local business. They're in Fulshear, so you're supporting your local market. I am pushing out Pet of the Week through CAPS, so I will be doing another live feed yet today. So if you would, please help support that. Let's get some more animals, some wonderful homes to live in. And we look forward to seeing you guys next week. Any final thoughts?
Thank you so much for having us. It's
All right.
been great talking to you.
All right. Thanks. We'll see you all next week.
Bye.